Good morning everyone, how are we all doing today? So this is the second day of my Kanchanaburi trip. I'll explain what we're getting on to in a little while. A couple of things I forgot to mention about yesterday. That Erawan National Park where the waterfalls were. As I've said, it is a national park. There is an entrance fee, which I believe is 300 baht for foreigners. Now, with it being a national park, I didn't realise until later they still have wild tigers roaming the park. I'm sure they don't come anywhere near where the falls are, but it's something just to be aware of. I think there's also black panthers roaming wild there as well, and they did used to have some bears in the park, but I think they've been relocated. There is also a campsite there if you're into your camping. Now I don't know how to feel about camping somewhere where there's wild tigers roaming, but hey ho. Right, today, quick summary of what we're doing today. We've just got to a place called Hellfire Pass, which I'll explain a little bit more about as we're going along. I then think we've got about an hour and a half train ride along the what's left of the Thai-Burma Railway, and then we're going to visit a temple. Now this railway, I think most of today is about the railway itself. 415 kilometres long. Took them 17 months to build, using prisoners of war and also people from Burma, Thailand, etc., surrounding countries. As I understand it, there was 290,000 people that died building this railway, so a hell of a lot of people. This that we're at now, Hellfire Pass, is basically a large cutting that they had to dig through a mountain, all done by hand, and we'll have a look at it when we get down there. But that's it for now. Again, it's a nice hot sunny day, so we'll see how we get on with that. I'll catch you all in a little while. So when you enter the building, you come through this entranceway. I don't know if you can make out, these are all the names of the people who died in this area. Literally hundreds and hundreds of them. Just look at that soldier there and keep him in mind. That's him again. That's the soldier again, after he'd been in captivity. Right, so to get down to Hellfire Pass, it's actually called Konyu Cutting, but was nicknamed Hellfire Pass. To get down there, you've got to get down some stairs. You are provided with a audio guide and earphones, which I'm just listening to now. It will tell us about various things as we go along. Right, Right, so there are quite a lot of steps to come down, but then eventually you get down onto what was the old railway, the Burma-Thailand Railway. It's just to remind everybody, it's not a tourist attraction as such. It is an actual memorial, and where we're walking now, people died, lots of them. So you just have to bear that in mind when you come here. Apparently this railway was lost after the Second World War, or this section certainly, and it was only in the 1980s when Australian prisoners, ex-prisoners of war, started coming back to Thailand, and they wanted to visit the places where they used to work. It had obviously been overgrown a lot by the jungle, but eventually they did manage to find these sections, and I believe it was a man called Tom Morris in 1983 who decided that it needed preserving in memory of those people who died here. It is all maintained by the Australian government, and once you get down here, it is a fairly easy walking trail. We're obviously in quite a mountainous region. Normally I'd say the view is absolutely beautiful, but you just got to remember what happened here, how many people died. Yeah, most of the rail line has been lost, but there are still some signs of it being here. Some of the old sleepers. There are some memorial plaques around here. Some very poignant little things are being left. This is the American Prisoner of War Memorial plaque. Right, so we're now entering Hellfire Pass, Kuang Im cutting as it was known. There are still some rail tracks left here. A lot of people have left memorials to loved ones, etc., and in memory of the people that died here. Bear in mind all this was dug out by hand. It's solid granite rock, so you can imagine how much hard work it was. Basically they used to have to use a metal spike, somebody would hammer it in until they made a hole big enough to put some dynamite in, and then they could blow that little section up. The prisoner of war used to work up to 18 hours a day. They'd start at 6 o'clock in the morning or even earlier, not go to bed till sort of 10 o'clock, midnight, and then rinse and repeat. Apparently there were several hundred, not several thousand, died in this area. This is a memorial stone that's been laid. I don't know if you can read all this. And you can see that the railway carries on down that way. You can actually carry on walking. We're not doing that today. I think it's about a 3.5 kilometre trail that you can do. We're just coming to the memorial stone and then we'll be heading back. I think those pictures tell 1,000 stories. Yeah, there are some little areas you can explore around the memorial area. If you come up some stairs up to the left, when you get up here, it's one of the old little carriages they used on the railway. Right, we're heading back through the pass now. Because this is all maintained by the Australian government, and it's a big memorial for not only the British and Americans, but the Australians. Every year on Anzac Day, they have a memorial service here in memory of all the Australians and others that lost their lives. Just another little something that somebody's left in the rock face. Right, it says that these rails and sleepers are from the official railway and were relayed in Kanchanaburi in April 1989 by the men of C Company 3rd Battalion, Royal Australian Regiment. They were relocated to the current position in 2006. Somebody's left the medals there. Wow. Right, we're now at our next stop. It's called the Kanchanaburi Cave, I believe it is, and it was actually used as a prisoner of war camp. As you can see behind me, we've got the original railway. This part is still in use today. It's only a couple of minute walk. And yes, I've got my baseball cap on turned around the wrong way. That's to protect the back of my neck, because as you can see, the sun's out and it's hot, hot, hot. Right, I'll catch you in a little while and when we get to the cave. Yeah, and you'll also see along this section of the railway, they couldn't go through the mountain, and so they had to build like a wooden trestle railway section alongside the mountain with the river down below. I'll show you a little bit more of that once we get to it. So you can actually walk along this section of the railway. I don't know if you can make it out over there. Wooden trestle section alongside the cliff face with the river down below. I'll find out the name of that river in a minute. But this is the actual cave. Let's have a look what we got. Right, coming to the cave now. As you can see, you've got a golden Buddha. All little shrines around the side. I understand this was used to house a lot of the prisoners of war. It must have been horrific. As far as I can see, there's no actual running water. There's no real flat spots for them to lie down. But, alright. There's another little section up there. Unfortunately, that's closed off at the moment. Right, this is just a little bit of information about this section of the railway. It's called the Krasay Cave Bridge, alongside the Kwai River, Sayok district. It's 400 metres long through the mountains and about 10 metres high above the river. It says during construction, 2,000 captives, foreign Alborans and Thai workers had to use a rope to tie their waist and hung down to extract stones to make railroad tracks along the cliff. It was actually finished in only 17 days. Now, as I say, it is an actual railway still in service, and if you're on the tracks, get out of the way. Here we go. At least they're not going too fast. I think this might actually be the train that we're going to be travelling on this afternoon after we've had lunch. We shall see. Like I say, I love to walk along this section of the railway. Some nice houses over there. Yeah. There's no handrails or anything. No health and safety here. If you step over the edge, you're down there. Okay, lunchtime again. Some desserts there. Some fruit. Tea and coffee. Let's have a quick look at what we've got to eat. Some salad bits. Spring rolls, fried chicken, fried fish, French fries, pad see ew. Sweet and sour stuff, and chicken vegetable soup, egg fried rice. Very tasty. That looks like raw chicken to me. Let's tuck in and have some fun. Lunch with a view. Right, so after that hearty lunch, we're now going to catch a train. We're at Wangpo station and we're going to catch the train back to Kanchanaburi. I think it's about an hour and a half long. And we actually go along the trestle railway that we saw earlier. So there should be some good views from there. We've got about 20 minutes wait until the train comes and we'll hopefully get some nice views. So I'll catch you all in a little while. So here we are now on the train. It's what you might call a pretty basic train. But hey ho, it is what it is. Shortly we'll be going across that trestle bridge, so hopefully I'll get some good shots.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Right, we're now going to be going across this trestle bridge. As you can see, we've got the river down there. When you actually look down at the wooden beams that are holding this up, they look very, very old. I'm sure everything's nice and safe. Behind us. Right. It's amazing that they built this in just 17 days. This stretch of railway. It'll probably take about 2 years these days, with all the health and safety, etc. Not sure if there are houses across there, or I think some of them are. That one up on the top of the hill looks fantastic, if it's somebody's house. Lots of creaking and groaning and straining going on. Oh, nice waterfall here. We're now back at Kanchanaburi, and the train's going to be going across the bridge over the River Kwai. Hopefully there are no people on it, or they've managed to get out of the way. If not, they're going to get the flat. Here we go. A bit close then. I'll have to move my arm in a bit. So, I've walked across the bridge over the River Kwai and I've gone on a train across the bridge over the River Kwai. And there we are, that's the bridge done. And we're pulling into Kanchanaburi station. I think we've just got one more stop to do today, and that's to a temple. And that'll be it, back to the hotel then. And the end of today's proceedings. Right, one little last stop today. This is the Chinese Buddhist temple. I'll tell you the name in a short while.
Like walk up to the paradise. Yeah, to see the god of them, take a photo. The god of them we call Xian. Xian. Yes, Xian in Chinese name. Xian.
And why is it here?
Or the Chinese like because actually they're not concerned with the bridge.
Beautiful murals up there. Apparently there are quite a lot of Chinese that live in the Kanchanaburi area, and that's why they have a Chinese Buddhist temple here.
Yeah, the temple has a lesson. We know something then because we learn together something.
I know a few bits.
The temple of the god in God, the lady.
Some really ornate carvings. Look at the size of that. Right, this is called the Kuang Im temple, and the name Kuang Im refers to this lady up here. How beautiful is this? Goes right down onto the banks of the River Kwai, as you can just see. Have a look around, see what we've got to see. Obviously these are lotus flowers and oranges at the end here. Not particularly sure. There's a plaque here, let's have a look, see what it says. And it's all in Thai, so I have no idea. Presume they're oranges. Yeah, right down onto the banks of the river. Here we've got what appears to be a reindeer with wings. I'm not sure what you call that. They're lovely gardens, very, very peaceful. Big eagle there. Nice little pagoda down at the end there. Another pagoda here. got his back turned to us. Find out who it is, or maybe not. And you've got to be careful with these religious sites and just be very respectful of them. Now you can get a blessing there, like one of those joss sticks there, stick it in and you get blessed. I'm not sure who the chap is, but it's all little pagodas all the way around, and that's Kuang Im. It's got all the animals here. Got what appears to be a dragon. And cobras. And you've got some very noisy little birds. Some lovely sculptures there. Again, a beautiful pagoda. All bells there, which I presume either buy or you ring. Sorry, I can't tell you much information. All the writing's in Thai and Chinese. Oh, it's another place where you can get a blessing. I really do like coming to these places. It's just so peaceful, beautiful. It looks so nice. They put a hell of a lot of effort into making their temples, etc. So there we are, the Kuang Im Chapel, or temple. Looks to be some sort of big altar there. It does say please take off your shoes, but just out of respect I'm not actually going to go inside. I'll just have a look what's in there. You've got your Buddha, and I don't know if you can see behind him there's 3 more Buddhas. Look at the paintings on the ceilings. Wow, beautiful. Got all the Buddhas around the side. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, sorry I'm having to do this outro on my phone. A little bit of a glitch with my action camera. But anyway, that's the end of today's activities. Finished off with this temple. Noisy little kids in the background. As for today's activities, yeah, Hellfire Pass. Very powerful place. When you start thinking about all the people that lost their lives there and what went off there. Yeah, enjoyed the rest of the day's activities. Had a good little look at the trestle bridge around the mountain, and then we had the train ride and finished up here at the Chinese temple. All in all, it's been a great day. Absolutely loved it. Weather's been hot again. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you like to see stuff about hiking and camping and 1 or 2 other bits and bobs. That's it for today. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll catch you all tomorrow.